Hi all, this is Dr. Sandhya, Professor and in charge of the Department of Anesthesiology at the Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute Super-specialty block. I'm honored to be a Wempower Champion 2021, an initiative by Orion. My journey with the COVID pandemic began somewhere in March 2020 when our institute was converted to a COVID isolation facility to take in the first patient of the city. With less time available and the virus knocking on our doors, we had a daunting task of converting an up-running hospital into an isolation care facility. Being a task force and a core committee member, I was in charge of managing the logistics of all the healthcare workers, the doctors, nurses, managing the isolation, the quarantine facility, and also the patient admissions. We had to take in calls around the clock, managing the relatives' grievances, the patient's anxiety. The biggest challenge was the fear of isolation and the unpredictability the patients came with. The second challenge was to handle the emotional turmoil of our healthcare workers. It was two wars they were fighting. One is against the infection, handling the patients. The second fear was catching the infection and going back to the loved ones. So the task was managing the patients on one side and the healthcare workers on the other side. Every morning we were faced with a new challenge. One is to get the most personal protective gear for our healthcare workers, and the scrutiny of the press was another issue. The unpredictable clinical course or the changing clinical management protocols was not difficult for us to manage. We've managed more difficult conditions, but the stigma attached, the discrimination the patients and the healthcare workers face, that is more difficult. I think that mindset had to be changed, but I think we have come far and it's all over. The death of the patient was another difficult thing to manage. They were in isolation, far away from the loved ones. The loved ones were as primary contacts in quarantine. So to end their journey without having to see the loved ones, this was the most difficult. Breaking the news to them was the most difficult task for us. We've always faced challenges and we will face it again, and this too shall pass. A positive mindset is only one which is going to take us through this crisis, and stand for each other, empower each other. It is not only the physical condition due to the infection that is going to affect us, the post-traumatic stress disorder, the anxiety, the burnout of the healthcare workers, it's going to be a huge challenge post-pandemic. So we need to stand for each other, appreciate each other, empower each other, and seek help as soon as possible whenever required.